Every day, in parking lots across America, people argue over the same 6 feet of asphalt. They yell, they flip each other off, they drive away furious. And then, almost always, they forget about it by the time they've unloaded their groceries. But on June 30th, 2026, in a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale, Florida, one of those arguments didn't end that way. It ended with a single gunshot, and a 62-year-old war veteran bleeding out on the pavement in broad daylight while shoppers walked past. There is video, multiple angles, a cell phone, a dash cam, and even with all of that evidence, right now, tonight, no one has been charged with a crime. This is the story of how an argument over a parking space became a homicide investigation, and why weeks later, the woman who pulled the trigger is still walking free. 7900 West McNabb Road, a Walmart supercenter like thousands of others across the country. Tuesday, just before 12:30 in the afternoon, the lunch rush. Somewhere in this lot, a woman pulls her car into a parking space, and somewhere in that moment, something goes wrong. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office, Bart DiGuglielmo and this woman became involved in a verbal argument. Over what exactly still isn't entirely clear. Over where a car was parked. That's it. That's the entire spark. Minutes later, deputies would arrive to find him on the ground, shot through the stomach. He would not survive the day. Before he became a headline, Bart DiGuglielmo had already lived an entire life most people would call extraordinary. Originally from Hamilton, New Jersey, later a resident of Lauderhill, Florida, he served in the United States Army during Desert Storm. And then for 30 years afterward, he worked as a nurse, much of it in trauma care. A man who spent 3 decades of his life pulling other people back from the edge of death. His sister described him simply, a Christian man, a good person, someone in her words, who would not hurt anyone. She mentioned something else too, that Bart had an identical twin brother who had died years before him. Now she had lost them both. His daughter Amanda went further. In an emotional interview, she pushed back against the narrative that had already started forming online within hours of her father's death. A war survivor, a healer, and according to his family, the last person anyone would expect to end up dead in a parking lot dispute. This is not a case built on rumor, this is a case built on video, multiple videos, recorded by strangers who had no idea they were about to capture a homicide. A witness catches it on his cell phone. A nearby car's dash cam captures a second angle. Here is what the footage shows. The woman gets out of her vehicle, in her left hand a cell phone, with her right hand already drawn, a handgun. DiGuglielmo approaches her. They move around the parked car. The argument continues, and for nearly all of it, she keeps that gun raised in his direction. At one point he turns, he starts to walk away, and then he turns back. The video captures her voice, clear on the recording, telling him to walk away. A second later, the sound of a single gunshot. Another camera angle, without audio, shows what the shot did. DiGuglielmo doubling over, lowering himself to the ground, blood spreading across the front of his shirt. He does not die instantly. For several minutes, the video shows him conscious, sitting up and lying back down, sitting up again, while cars continue driving past in the background. Shoppers keep walking. The world keeps moving. 10 feet away from the dying man. Eventually, the deputy arrives. The footage shows the woman being taken into custody. She did not run. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office, she stayed at the scene. She cooperated fully with responding deputies and detectives. And she gave them her explanation. Self-defense. That is the claim, as of this recording, uncontested by any criminal charge. She has not been arrested. She has not been publicly identified. Florida is a stand your ground state. Under certain conditions, the law removes any duty to retreat before using deadly force in self-defense. Whether that protection applies here, whether a reasonable person would have feared for their life in those seconds captured on video, is now the single question this entire case hinges on. It is not a question deputies get to answer. It's a question for the Broward County State Attorney's Office, the office that will ultimately decide whether any charges are filed approached, briefly walked away, then walked back toward her. She told him to walk away. She fired once. He died at the hospital. She stayed, cooperated, and claimed self-defense. No charges have been filed. Still unknown, what was said in the earliest moments of the argument, before cameras were rolling, the woman's identity, whether prosecutors will ultimately file charges or determine the shooting was legally justified. That's the whole picture, right now. Anything beyond that is speculation. And this case doesn't need speculation. It's disturbing enough as it stands. Bart DeGuglielmo spent a career surviving war and saving lives in hospital trauma units. He died in a Walmart parking lot, in an argument that, by every account gathered so far, started over nothing more than where to park a car. His daughter said it best through tears, "Nobody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot." Whether the law agrees that his death was justified is a decision still to come. What's certain is this: a routine trip to the store ended in a death that no one who saw it, on video or in person, has been able to fully explain. North Lauderdale, Florida. Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. Just before 12:30 in the afternoon. There is nothing remarkable about a Walmart parking lot on a Tuesday. Shopping carts drift between rows of parked cars, engines idle, people move in and out of the store carrying groceries, paper towels, prescriptions. It is the most unremarkable kind of American afternoon. At 7900 West McNabb Road, that afternoon would end with a man lying on the pavement, a gunshot wound in his stomach, and a woman standing over him with a phone in one hand and a handgun in the other. Within minutes, deputies from the Broward Sheriff's Office would arrive to find 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo bleeding out in a parking space. Paramedics from North Lauderdale Fire Rescue would rush him to Broward Health Medical Center. He would not survive. What triggered it all was something so small, so common that most people forget about it within seconds of it happening. A disagreement over where to park a car. Before he was a headline, Bart DeGuglielmo was a person with a long and layered history. He was originally from Hamilton, New Jersey, and had settled in Lauderhill, Florida. Family members say he was a veteran of the United States Army who had served during Desert Storm. After his military service, he built a second career, 30 years as a nurse, much of it working in trauma care. This was a man whose profession for 3 decades had been to save lives torn apart by violence and accident. His sister, who spoke to reporters, but chose not to share her full name publicly, described him in simple terms. She called him a Christian man, a good person, someone in her words who would not hurt anyone. She told CBS News Miami that the news of his death was heartbreaking, and she mentioned something else, that Bart had an identical twin brother who had died years earlier. His daughter, Amanda, came forward publicly as well. In an emotional interview with Local 10, she pushed back hard against the idea that her father was the aggressor in this story. She said she did not believe anyone deserved to lose their life over something as small as a parking spot. She said she wanted people to know who her father really was, not the version of him that had started circulating in headlines and comment sections within hours of his death. This tension between the family's grief and a stranger's claim of self-defense sits at the center of everything that follows. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office, the sequence of events began with something deputies would later describe, almost clinically, as a verbal altercation over a parking space. An adult woman had pulled into a spot in the Walmart lot. Somewhere in that moment, or in the moments after, Bart footage shows him walking back toward the woman. As he does, she can be heard telling him to walk away. Those are her words, according to the audio captured on the cell phone recording. A moment later, the sound of a single gunshot cuts through the recording. A separate angle, filmed without sound, shows the physical result. DeGuglielmo is seen doubling over at the waist. He lowers himself toward the ground. Blood becomes visible on the front of his shirt. He does not die instantly. Footage shows him remaining conscious for several minutes afterward, alternating between sitting upright and lying down on the pavement of the parking lot. Around him, ordinary life continues. Cars pass, shoppers walk by, a jarring collision between the mundane and the catastrophic, playing out in the same frame. Eventually, a law enforcement officer arrives on the scene. The footage shows the officer taking the woman into custody. Deputies arrive to find DeGuglielmo suffering from a gunshot wound to his stomach. Paramedics transported him to Broward Health Medical Center in Fort Lauderdale, where doctors worked to save him. They could not. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, hours after an argument that began over nothing more than where a car should be parked. The woman who fired the shot did not flee. According to the Broward Sheriff's Office, she remained at the scene after the shooting. She cooperated with the deputies and detectives who arrived, and she gave them an explanation for what she had done. She told investigators the shooting was in self-defense. She was detained for questioning. As of the most recent reporting, she has not been publicly identified by name, and she has not been arrested. In the American legal system, a shooting is not the same thing as a crime. Those are two separate determinations, and the second one takes time. Homicide detectives with the Broward Sheriff's Office are handling the investigation. According to a Sheriff's Office spokesperson, once that investigation is complete, the case will be handed over to the Broward County State Attorney's Office. It will be prosecutors, not deputies, who decide whether the woman who pulled the trigger will face criminal charges. Florida is what's known as a stand-your-ground state, a legal framework that removes, under certain conditions, a person's duty to retreat before using force in self-defense. Whether that framework applies here, whether the video supports or undermines a self-defense claim, whether the woman was in genuine fear for her life in the moments before she fired, none of that has been resolved. It is exactly what investigators and eventually prosecutors will have to determine. As of this recording, no charges have been filed. The case remains open. For the people who shop at this Walmart regularly, the ordinary act of driving to the store has been replaced by the memory of crime scene tape stretched across a familiar parking lot. One man, arriving to do his shopping the day after the incident, found the lot sealed off and covered in tape. The mundane errand he'd planned, suddenly impossible. It is a small human detail, but it captures something important about how violence like this ripples outward. It doesn't just end one life. It reaches into the routines of everyone nearby. And it raises a question that has followed this case since the moment the video went public. A question with no clean answer. How does a disagreement over a parking space end with a bullet in a man's stomach and his name on the news across the country? It is worth pausing here to separate fact from assumption, because in a case like this, the two get tangled quickly. What has been confirmed by authorities and multiple video sources? Bart DeGuglielmo and an unidentified woman argued over a parking space outside a North Lauderdale Walmart. The woman exited her vehicle already holding a handgun. DeGuglielmo approached her, then briefly walked away, then walked back toward her. The woman told him to walk away moments before firing a single shot. DeGuglielmo was struck in the stomach and later died at the hospital. The woman remained at the scene, cooperated with law enforcement, and claimed self-defense. No charges have been filed as of the most recent reporting. The case is still under investigation. What remains unknown or unresolved? The full content of the initial argument, what was said and by whom before the video recordings began, the woman's identity, which authorities have not released, whether prosecutors will determine the shooting was legally justified or will pursue criminal charges, the full context behind why DeGuglielmo turned back toward the woman after appearing to walk away. This is the discipline that separates responsible reporting from speculation, and it is worth holding on to here, because a man is dead, a family is grieving, and a legal process that could shape a woman's future for years is still underway. Bart DeGuglielmo survived a war. He spent 30 years as a nurse pulling other people back from the edge of death in hospital trauma units, and he died in a Walmart parking lot, in an argument that by every account gathered so far, started over nothing more than a place to park a car. His daughter sobbed through tears in the days after his death. Nobody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot. Whether the legal system agrees that the shooting was justified is a determination still to come. What is certain right now is this: a routine trip to the store ended in a death that no one who witnessed it, on video or in person, has been able to fully explain. The Broward County State Attorney's Office will decide what happens next. This has been a factual account based on statements from the Broward Sheriff's Office, video evidence obtained by ABC News, Local 10, WSVN, NBC6, CBS News Miami and other outlets, and public statements from Bart DiGuglielmo's family. No charges have been filed in this case as of the time of this report, and the woman involved has not been publicly identified. Please, for more details and content, like and subscribe.